The truth is the truth. If you have to change it to fit your narrative, that's called manipulation. Let's get into it. What up, y'all? I'm Christopher Markman, and welcome to my review / analysis / commentary of Season 10, Episode 6 of Ready to Love. Happy St. Patrick's. Hope everybody's being lucky in love and all that other good stuff. Now, as always, I don't just go scene for scene, line for line, bar for bar of the show that we've already watched, but instead I use the situations in the show, the people in the show, and talk about how that relates to dating in general, you know, things to do, things not to do, all of that good stuff.
Your exterior, you give off a certain type of energy that people are intimidated by.
This really annoys me. It's not that the people on the show, in this case, the men on the show, are quote unquote intimidated by her behavior. The bottom line is, it's just not attractive. How she carries herself, how she moves, the things that she says, and just her whole behavior in general is just not attractive. What bothers me about that when I hear people say that, you know, that people are just intimidated by me and I keep it real, all of the other stupid shit. It's not about being intimidated. It's just that it is intellectually dishonest because it's really just bad behavior. And when people react to how, in this case, how Sahara comes across, then she's being told or being sugarcoated that it's, you know, they're intimidated. No, it's just not attractive and nobody wants it to be that. And that's why she doesn't have any connections outside of Cam.
Some of the fellas, we're saying you pretty much into yourself. It's just like, you know, you look good. So it's like once they get to talk to you, it's like, what else is there?
Okay, cool, you're pretty. Now what? If that's all you're bringing to the table, honestly, that's going to get old real quick. Now, yes, she's attractive. She's a pretty woman. However, she's pretty unremarkable. And if I'm being honest, Eddie is as well. They don't strike me as people that I would want to hold a conversation with, of, you know, a substantive conversation. And I'll say this, I wouldn't say that she's into herself. It's really more that she doesn't have much to offer but herself.
So the guys, they decided you're not ready to love.
So you are not ready to love.
So after that cliffhanger ending last week, 2 women have been eliminated, and they are Coley and Rocky, aka Raquel. Now, this is Coley's second time being up for elimination, and it's one of those things where you can only last so long, and I'm not surprised that either one of these 2 women got eliminated. But regardless, now we are down to 7 women, and this week those 7 women are in control, meaning 1, if not 2 of the men are going to be eliminated at the end of the show.
I don't want to be here right now. We can wrap this up.
Why are you giving me this energy?
It's not about you, though.
Right, so stop making it about me. And
I'm
just tell
not.
me.
You're making it about you.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because he's a firefighter. He's got some kind of hero complex. And, you know, after giving her the good news that, hey, she wasn't eliminated, he expected her to start swooning and just fall into his arms and just like, oh, my hero, thank you. I don't know what it is. I do know that he is 100% making it all about him, and it's got nothing to do with him. Think about it. He is delivering the news that all of the men said, hey, this is who we want to keep and this is who we want to eliminate. But he wants to almost, I guess, take credit for it. Now, I don't know if that's how the show set it up, so that, you know, the person who's delivering the news is someone they have a connection with, because that does seem to be, you know, how it's been playing out, that the people who they're meeting with, they have a connection with. I don't know, but again, he's just making this 100% about him.
Personal, you still making it
I'm
about
not
you.
making it personal,
I'm telling you
but
that I'm
also
here in the
I'm-
moment and I don't want to be there. Respect it. Okay, so she don't want to be here. Stop making it about you. It's not about you.
She clearly articulated her feelings. She said that she was having a moment. Then she said she wanted to leave. I'm not sure how much clearer she can make it, because at that point, once she told him all of that, he really just needed to drop it. He needed to let it go, but instead he got in his feelings. She asked him, hey, can you please respect that? But instead of him respecting it, it's like either he just would not or could not respect exactly what it was she was asking of him. That's problematic.
Tell me how you feel and I'll tell you how I feel.
That I don't want to talk no more. And
At all.
Like, why can't you understand that?
I'm listening to you.
He says he's listening, but clearly he's not. Again, he has made this 100% about him. She can't make it any clearer how she's feeling and why, but instead of listening, instead of respecting her, he still just refuses to let her leave. Like, one of the things that bothers me, right, is when I'm in a room, be it a, especially when I'm at work or whatever, I'm in a room and then someone stands in the doorway of that room. So instead of them either coming in or going out, they stand right there in the doorway. And it just gets my anxiety up because I feel trapped because they are blocking my exit. I mean, of course, it's not a barricade. If I wanted to leave, yeah, they're going to get the hell out of the way. But it's just that feeling of being trapped. As I watched that scene, I had that same feeling, that anxiety of just watching it, because it's like I see this woman, obviously she's bothered, okay? So she's different anyway. But regardless, she says, "Hey, I want to go." You can tell she's bothered. She has her own feelings and she's entitled to them. I mean, this is her second or third time being up for elimination. So of course she feels some kind of way. She wants to process her feelings, but instead of being able to do that, instead he wants to keep her there because he's made it about him.
That's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. You're about to alienate the only person that's crying for you.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm telling you that this.
I'm telling you are.
And that's the manipulation right there. By not putting her feelings aside and making him feel good in that moment, she's now alienating the only man that's fighting for her. So basically what he's saying is, hey, if you don't scratch my back when I want it scratched, how I want it scratched, for how long I want it scratched, then the next time that you're up, I'm not going to be there to protect you. If you don't behave the way I want you to behave, and regardless of how you're feeling, it's about me. I made it about me, and you need to make me feel good. If you don't act the way I want you to act, then I'm not going to protect you in the future. That's manipulation.
A lot of y'all are single because guess what? You consistently date the type of men who are not a good match for you.
Aging will really force you to reset your priorities. The things that used to matter 10, 15, 20 years ago, now they really don't have any significance. And the things that you really could have cared less about back then, yeah, now you need them in your life. And that really and truly applies to dating as well, because the people that you thought were maybe a second or third option, now when you look at it, when you weigh things, you realize that they are exactly what you need in your life right here, right now.
Deal breakers for you?
I think the biggest one is just like somebody that's selfish in a relationship, just always either see their side. What about you?
One of the things that I like about the show is that it gives you some really good questions that you can ask on a first date. In this case, Deanna asked, hey, what are your deal breakers? Now, that's a great question, but I especially like Hussein's answer. He gave a well thought out answer, but more importantly, he ended it with a what about you? Meaning it's a give and take. Y'all, I'm online dating, right? And one of the things that bothers me the most is I will ask the woman a question, hey, where are you from? And her response would be, I'm from New York. It's never I'm from New York, what about you? And I will say this, the women that do say, hey, what about you? Or ask a question in return, I am much more interested in, because then it's, like I said, it's a give and take. It's a conversation. It's not an interview. And also there's just something about a woman that wants to know about me that invites me to want to know more about her. But if I'm doing all of the asking of the questions, I'm basically interviewing her. At some point, I'm like, man, to hell with this. There's nothing, I'm not learning anything about you. Yes, you're answering the questions, fine. However, it's telling me more about your personality, meaning you don't give a shit about me. You just it's all about you.
Communication is big. I think sometimes in like past relationships, I was maybe a little bit too realistic, but I know.
To be honest, you don't seem like a communicator. I'm gonna be honest.
I get that the show is heavily edited. I get it that production will they'll chop and screw it in order to basically present to us what they want us to see. But unless Goliath whispered something in her ear, I completely missed either what he said in order for her to come to that conclusion. I'm like, I completely missed it. Maybe, hey, if y'all saw it, y'all let me know in the comments, because I did not see where she's talking about that, hey, you look like the kind of guy that is I am. Once she jumped to that conclusion, I was so lost because I'm like, where in the hell did that come from?
Give me, if you don't like something, you linger on it. You don't tell somebody right away. It has to be something to trigger you to say it. And then you finally wind up and say, that's what you give me.
Again, where did this come from? How did she jump to that conclusion and then start building on the conclusion that she jumped to? Now, I don't know if she's just projecting. I don't know if it's something that we missed. Production may have cut it, edited. I don't know. Maybe it's something, she felt that he reminded her of an ex. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it doesn't make any sense, and how she's moving and reacting the things that she's saying is just wild to me. It doesn't make any sense.
When I'm at work, I'm in a whole different zone.
To me, it sounds like work is your relationship then. I feel like you should be able to tap into both almost.
Work is definitely first priority.
He's right. She said it herself. Her job is her priority. Well, then your job is going to be the one that's going to tuck you in at night, hold you close, and, do all the intimate things, I guess. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I am fine with ambition. I understand, especially, in certain professions, especially as a woman, especially as a Black woman, when you've worked your ass off. That's just a lot of work. Anyway, when you've done that in her case in order to get to where she is and the position that she's in, fine, I get it. It's important to her. However, if you make your job your main priority, then your relationship by definition can't be the main priority, and you're going to get those kind of results.
I work in the office and I'm like on the computer, like, hey babe, how you doing? How's work? Like, no, I'm working a busy
It shouldn't
spot.
matter if you're putting out fires or if you're answering telephones. It's still a job.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely blame production on this one. This is definitely some made up nonsense that they're doing the way they edited what he said, because he did not say that. It's one of those things where they're creating drama for the sake of drama, and knowing damn well that man did not say that her job as a firefighter or working for the fire department is the same as a desk job or whatever. That is absolutely not what he said. And I'll also say this, my interpretation, my understanding of what he said is this: just because your job is a firefighter and someone else may have a desk job, it doesn't matter. You can still check in with your partner. You can still, you're not fighting fires 24 hours a day. If you're not engaged, you can always check in. Hey, babe, how are you? Or vice versa. You can look at your phone, send a text. That's what he's saying. Your job, I don't give a damn if it's a firefighter. You could be president of the United States. You could be a fighter pilot. It doesn't matter. You can make time, and that goes back to what she said earlier. Her job is her priority. Therefore, she doesn't prioritize making time for her partner.
So off of what we just talking about.
If I just had to go off the top, I don't think we're really compatible at the time.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So last episode, I spoke about exit ramps, and what that is at the beginning of every situation, as you're dating, you're getting to know that person. There's that point in time where you realize, you know what? Yeah, I need to get up out of here. This is not going to work for me. And that's your chance to exit the situation and leave. So right here, we see both of them reaching their exit ramps at the same time. They realize that, you know what? Hey, we are not compatible. We're not going to get along. And they're like, you know what? No, thanks. I appreciate the maturity that they're both exhibiting right there, because it's like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it don't fit, don't force it.
Like, man, who gonna want me? I'm old man, 5 kids. But honestly, when I healed and got into a space of allowing certain energy in, I started attracting certain things.
Oh boy, I feel Naeem on this one. It's like, as you look over your past and you see the landscape and all the tombstones of dead relationships and all of that, and you look at where you are and you kind of weigh that against where you feel you should be, and all of those insecurities and all of those things pop up, and you're getting older and you're like, man, I've got, in his case, 5 kids and 3 baby mamas, and all of those different things. It's like, it's a lot to weigh, and I feel where he's coming from. And Lord knows, for me personally, therapy has helped, and it's still helping, because I'm still going to deal with all of those things and those feelings that he just referenced right there. I feel where he's coming from.
Hi! This week, Tommy tells us to go out with our second connection. So I invited Cisco on a date, but he does not know what we're doing.
If you've watched any of my reviews, you know that I'm a very conservative person. And, when it comes to sexy clothing and just sex in general, it's like, ugh, Yeah, okay. Man, I do not understand her choice of clothing. I am in no shape, manner, or form judging what she's wearing or judging why she chooses to wear it. She's a grown woman. They say she's 44, so hey, she can wear whatever the hell she wants to. I still have questions about the choices of things that she wears, going all the way back to when they were at the skating rink and the chesticles were hanging out. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of chesticles. I just think that there's also this thing about, I don't know, being appropriate. I don't know. It's just something problematic about the way she dresses. But hey, again, she's grown. If she likes it, I love it.
Being someone who is comfortable in their skin, I'm looking forward to welcoming him into another part of my life, which is just owning body positivity. What are you?
I am all for body positivity. In fact, I wish they hadn't blurred out a lot of the things that, they did, because I want her to celebrate her body and I want to be a part of that celebration. And because they blurred it, I really wasn't able to appreciate the body that she wants to showcase to the world. So anyway, this situation is like, I get it. That's how she feels. That's her lifestyle. But the way I feel about it is kind of similar to what I said about Coley earlier. If that's all you have to offer, then it's going to get old real quick.
Is it a name?
Mm-hmm.
Cisco.
See?
Okay.
Just marking my territory.
Oh, okay.
Cisco,
We're
there we
getting,
go.
okay, we're getting territorial.
Yeah.
I just want to be comfortable.
This is her first date with Cisco, and this is what she chooses. Now, I get it. She's trying to bring him into her world, and that's part of who she is and how she lives. However, I don't think that she's really bonded or connected with Cisco to the point that this would be a good date idea, because quite honestly, she doesn't have anything that the other women don't in order to separate herself from them. Don't get me wrong now. I mean, hey, I am not mad at it. In fact, I am all for nudity and all of that. In fact, if you will, ladies, you can send me your nudes and I'll evaluate them just for research purposes only. So send them to author Chris.
What don't I know that everybody else know?
I ain't gonna say everybody know.
Okay.
My childhood, thinking back, I spent some time in a group home.
Again, another fantastic icebreaker question that Rose just asked. What is something that everybody else doesn't know about you? Again, that's one of the things I really like about the show, and I really am going to use that question, because it's especially when it comes to online dating, where you get asked the same questions. How are you? How is your date? Where are you from? How many kids you got? It's the same litany of questions. So if you do something that's out of the norm and ask a different question, it's gonna separate you from everybody else that is basically vying for that person's attention. Again, that's a great question.
So what's like your deal breakers, like in the relationship?
Take a little sip of this wine. All right, so
I really do believe that production is doing the most when it comes trying to basically drive a narrative and just make situations. I don't know anybody who's going to be like, hold on one second, let me take a sip of this wine. It just seems contrived. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem like a situation that would actually happen. And all it is driving a narrative that they're trying to build, that Eddie likes to drink. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But it just seems, again, contrived. It's one of those things that just feels like they're trying to build drama and create drama for the sake of drama in order for the show to be dramatic so that people will do dramatic things.
I do have one friend who is my best friend. We tried to be intimate and it didn't work.
like I can see where that would go.
Is that really an issue for you? Oh my God.
In the preview for the next episode, they show Kiara's friend, and I'm not sure if he's a friend or an ex, or, I don't know their actual relationship. But what they do show is the guy saying, hey, I've got feelings for her. I've been waiting, for her to come. Something showing that he is attracted to her and is waiting to basically get with her. So with that being said, I can understand why Eddie's like, yeah, I don't like this, the fact that you have guys in your orbit that, especially in from what Angie was saying, where he's he's an ex. They tried to pursue something and it didn't work. I get it. It happens all the time. Hell, I've got friends like that where, things just don't work out and you just remain friends. However, the one thing I do is when they get in a relationship, I fall back because I am not trying to be a problem or be in the midst of their relationship. And the women aren't going to be like, no, Chris, you fine. You're going to stay right here. No, they're in a relationship. They're trying to make it work. So we both know, hey, yeah, we're friends, but we also need to have that distance because we need boundaries.
You on them in the beginning. But then I had to turn it up real fast.
So one of my favorite dating activities is to go indoor go-kart racing, right? And not gonna lie, that sweet ass pass that Rose did right there, check it out. She's already, I'm like, okay, she's kind of attractive. I like that aesthetic. However, watching her do that pass right there, yeah, man. Yeah, the blood would have been flowing. We'd have to have some conversations after that because, yeah, I wouldn't be happy that the fact that I lost, especially how I lost with, just missing my turn and her sneaking in like that. However, there's something kind of sexy, some kind of attractive about that. So, yeah, I really like that. That was definitely a turn on for me.
Is that a deal breaker?
Medical science today, you can get a surrogate.
Nope. I don't want nobody else carrying my child.
I get it. It's an important issue, and I appreciate the fact that she broached the conversation because, it's something that has to be put on the table. If he wants children and, there's a concern that she may not be able to have them, yes, you got to have the conversation, and I respect that. However, just as the issue is important to her, it's also important to him. And she asked the question, hey, if I'm not able to, what do you think? And he said, okay, hey, here's a potential situation. There are other medical solutions that, like he said, with modern medicine, there's certain things that you can do. And he also said, hey, we can keep trying. But the way she reacted just shut it down. It's like, just as the issue is important to her, it's important to him. And they didn't even get a chance to have a healthy conversation, a healthy discussion to really, flesh out options, even though it's an academic question, not really a what are we going to do. It's not a real situation. It's a hypothetical, but they really didn't even get a chance to have a healthy discourse about it, the way just based on her reaction.
Then like super distant at the block party. I was just looking for that reassurance. Like everything's gonna be okay. But since then, I can't help but think, how would the future look for us?
So this is their first real solo date. The first time that they have went out together one-on-one, where it's not a block party, where it's not a mixer. And it's just something about it just seems to be rushed. And I get it. I know that they've had communication outside of those events, where, via text, via phone calls, because that's how the whole issue of his financial situation, meaning where he's living and, not having a car, those kind of things. That's how she learned about them, was on those extra conversations. But it's just something about how they're moving. It feels rushed. And I get it. There have been other seasons past where couples basically locked in. I want to say even going all the way back to season 1, I think the couple was Mike and Shay. They were pretty much locked in from jump. And then other seasons as well. You had, what's his name? Joy and I forget the dude's name. Then also this other season, you had Joy and previous season, Joy and Clifton. They were locked in. So I get it. Couples, when and then you lock in. But it's just something about this particular couple. It's like it's so much uncertainty, and their connection is based on a physical attraction. I hear what they're saying that they feel each other, but it's just something. It doesn't seem substantive how they're locked in, and I don't know. It just feels rushed. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section.
So Hussein, he compared firefighting with sitting down doing paperwork. And he said it's one and the same.
No.
It's still a job. And I said, okay, we have no more conversation.
That is not what that man said at all. He never disrespected her or her job as a firefighter. He never said anything of the sort. And this is what feels really manipulative. I'm not sure if it's either by her, whether it's by production, or whether it's a little bit of both. But he never said anything about, downplaying her job or basically minimizing what she does. He never said that. And the way they basically edited the conversation, and also now how she's relaying the conversation again feels very manipulative.
Okay, that's enough.
But by the end,
He told me, but now I'm taking it serious.
Oh, okay. So I'm just saying, you was doing all this Fritz talking. I was gonna let you do it, but you wasn't telling the rest of the story.
She's exactly right. She did not tell the whole story. Yes, Fritz did say, when I came in here, I really wasn't taking it seriously, but now I am. So if it wasn't for the fact that they basically pushed her to tell the whole thing as far as what Fritz said, it would have sounded like, hey, that Fritz said, you know what, I'm not taking this seriously. Again, that's manipulative. And I get it. I understand her frustration at being up for elimination, and the fact that Fritz was saying whatever he was saying about her. I get it. I get it. I get it. But that doesn't change the fact that she distorted the facts in order to try and put something out. And also looking past the fact that the dudes are in the vault and not keeping what's said in the vault, that in and of itself is a problem. And for her to be saying that in front of Tommy, like, yeah, I heard in the vault that they said this and the guys were saying that, he should have shut that shit down right then and there, and told the same thing to the ladies. Hey, what we discuss in here stays in here. And once he gets the fellas together, hey, what we discuss in here stays in here. But if you're going to have a situation where all the men meet and then all of a sudden now they're going back and saying, ooh, 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 looky, no, that's some high school shit, and that's not how it should work.
Exhilarating, fascinating, it's intoxicating. Don't worry about me, I got plans.
So Eddie and Fritz are up for elimination. And again, they did another cliffhanger episode, and we're going to have to wait to see which one of these two dudes gets eliminated. And it looks like we're going to be waiting a minute too, because the next episode, it looks like it's going to be a couple weeks, couple months before we even know what's going on. Not sure why, and I guess we're supposed to, anyway, we'll see what happens whenever the show comes back. So with that, y'all, hey, I appreciate it. As usual, please, you know that I am an author and I've written 3 books, so make sure you support me. My books are Desperately Seeking Exclusivity, Desperately Seeking Pleasure, and Desperately Seeking Clarity. They're available in both paperback and e-reader formats. Also, make sure you follow me on my social media at author Christopher Markland for Facebook and Christopher_Markland on Instagram. And definitely make sure right here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Y'all, you let me know what you think. Do you agree with the 2 women that got eliminated, Coley and Raquel? Or do you think that Sahara should have, gotten the boot and one of the other 2 ladies stays? If so, which one? What do you think about the 2 men that are up for elimination this week? Do you think it should have been them or maybe somebody else? What do you think about the whole nudity thing, as far as, a girl doing the body paint and all of that, or just her choice of her wardrobe choices in general? Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section, and also anything else that comes to mind as well. As always, y'all, hey, and also, you see the green? Make sure you have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day. And as always, y'all have a good one. See you next week.